are back outside. It's been a couple of days, but reason being is because I was feeling a little out of alignment, like been going out a lot, been going to a few events here and there, all great things, all great people. However, sometimes we have to energetically adjust, and I thought I'd spend today's video journal talking about exactly how I did that and what it means to step back into energetic alignment. There's so many different forms of alignment that can take place. Spiritually, I was still speaking to my guides. I was still, doing the yoga, going outside and grounding, and such. But on an energetic level, I just felt very disconnected. And the way that you know that you're energetically out of alignment is when you feel disconnected from your body. And so, although I'm having all of these spiritual moments where I'm still connecting with my guides, connecting with my higher self and such, I just was not connecting with my body. So there's a lot been going on. So this is how I got back into alignment. I took the days to rest. Instead of trying to fight my way through it, I rested, and I offered myself some grace in the fact that it's going to take me a couple days to reset. And it's okay for me to say no to certain things, certain people, certain opportunities to get that rest. Because the reason why we feel the energetic misalignment is because we are not checking in with our bodies first before we check in with the mind. And so what did this look like? This looked like maybe sleeping in a little bit longer than I would. This looks like going to bed a little bit early. This looks like feeding my body things that I knew were going to be energetically cleansing, as well as providing me the energy that I needed to bounce back, basically. And it took me about, I want to say 3 or 4 days of really just going within and being to myself and resting for me to feel that alignment again. And I think in today's culture, a lot of people are afraid to rest because they feel as though it's not contributing to anything productive. But in reality, the productivity comes from the moments of rest. I like to talk about it a lot. Like, I think if people took some time out to just relax and come back to whatever it is that they're trying to do, it would be much easier on them. So how to recognize when you need to take a moment of rest? This comes pretty naturally. It's when you feel like, oh man, like I just want to take a couple more moments to stay in bed. I want to be to myself today. And it's listening to that voice, listening to that gut feeling of needing to stay put and not do too much. You know what I mean? Like, I think people do way too much sometimes. And let's not even get into like human design and that sort of technology that we've been gifted. For example, my human design is a projector. I am someone who works in spurts, and it doesn't require me a full day to get the work done. So for example, if I'm working a 9 to 5, I may only need about 3 or 4 hours of the day to get all of my work done, because that's just how I work. But then the other times, I need to be resting to kind of recharge my battery. And so I know this about myself, and this happens whether it be working, whether it be socializing, whether it be creating, traveling, whatever the case is. I know that I always am going to need some form of rest in order to recharge and come back to what it is that I was doing, but come back in a way that I feel more aligned with what it is that I'm doing versus me just trying to get things done, Because when I work from that mentality or that lens, it starts to build resentment. And so I do less and less work, I'm less motivated, and that sort of thing. So, damn. Wow. So I encourage you, when it comes to resting and when it comes to recharging and getting energetically aligned, use some of these tools that are out there. Figure out your human design, figure out your astrology, figure out what motivates you, what drains you. Also paying attention to your energetic cues that come up first thing in the rising, because those are typically the honest truth, the feelings, the intuition, your higher self speaking to you. And then also, let's not even get into if you are a female, a woman, and paying attention to. So another thing is, if you're a woman, paying attention to your cycle, your phases, where you are in your cycle, understanding that there are literally moments in the month that we are meant to be resting and taking it easy. And then there are other moments in the month where we can essentially go hard. We can essentially go to the gym and do a full workout and make it as intense as we want. But if you were to do that in your luteal phase, it may create some sort of energetic misalignment. And so the best analogy that I have for this is the seasons and plants that grow during specific seasons. In the winter, you will rarely see a sunflower grow to its fullest capacity because it requires a lot of sunlight. But the sunflower knows this, and so if you were to plant a sunflower seed, it may take 2, 3, 4, 5 times as long to grow because it's trying not to overextend its energy given the season that it's in. So think of it that way. We're all plants in this beautiful garden, and we each have a season. Unless you're evergreen, then kudos to you. But I know my seasons. And I know when it's time for me to rest. I know it's time for me to go dormant. And when it's time for me to realign. So yes, as I mentioned, resting is my biggest method of realignment, but then also going within. So I journal a lot more during this time, just really trying to understand what messages I'm meant to be receiving during this time of rest, and understanding how I got here. Sometimes it's unintentional, but definitely by design. So it's just essentially me backtracking and being like, okay, maybe next time I'll do this a little bit differently. Or if everything aligned perfectly and it was meant for me to rest, then it's just reflecting on, the great times that I had, the events that I went to, the people that I got to hang out with, and being super grateful for that. But then also scripting out how I would like for, my next energetic spurt to be, or how I would like to rebound from this energetic misalignment. Maybe misalignment isn't the right word. Maybe it's just like gentle course correction. Or maybe it's just, I don't know. Yeah. But I was taking my walk and recording my journal, and I got stopped by a neighbor, and so I kind of lost my train of thought, but I just genuinely enjoy sharing them as they come. I want to start getting deeper into some of my teachings, but obviously those won't be while I'm out here walking in the streets. But those will be soon to come on my channel, sharing them with whoever resonates. But we'll be talking about detoxing for clarity. So that's another one of my strategies to get back into alignment, is to detox. That's one of the clear indications that it's time for me to cleanse my body, detoxify my body. So using herbs and certain fasting techniques to help me realign my energy. And then next is embodying your higher self. And so this was another strategy that I used, where basically I had my higher self talking me through this period of rest and reassuring me and reminding me that this is necessary in order for what's to come next. And so that's basically the main things that I do to help me realign, and what I'm looking forward to, and you coming along with me on this journey. And there'll be a lot more detailed. It's really beautiful today and hot, but beautiful, and I'm just basking in it. So I look forward to sharing those offerings with you all. And if you know anyone who could benefit from just a daily pick-me-up, feel free to share this with them. Share the future videos that will come, because we're all really in this together. You're me and I am you. We are reflections of one, and this experience is meant to be shared. So until next time.